Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Ryan Garcia, he needs to be counting his blessings because the WBC had mandated that Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz fought in a title eliminator to see who would get the winner of Tank Davis and Rolly Romero. And this is the thing, okay? Ryan Garcia is out here ranting about how, he tried to give the fight that people wanted to see. Don't blame him for the fight not happening. And all this other crap. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, you come out calling Isaac Cruz all kind of, derogatory words and all these obscenities. And what happened to the Ryan Garcia that was having all these mental health struggles? The one that everybody in the boxing community converged on, wishing him well, saying they don't want to see the man down and out like that. He's one of our peers. We want him healthy. What happened to that guy who was posting all kind of stuff on here about, thank you everybody, and being so warm-hearted and positive spirit and showing love, But then as soon as he gets his stuff together, which many people question whether there was something even wrong with him in the first place. He didn't want to get in there with that Javier Fortuna. Then he starts to feel better, and he immediately goes back attacking people and saying crazy things to people, man. And it's hard for me to feel sorry for a guy like Ryan Garcia because what is it, man? Are you have mental health struggles? Are you a hater? Are you trying to be a bully? Are you just a whole lot of bark with very little bite? Or are you that custard lion like Crip Max says with no heart? Now, Ryan Garcia can fight. This man has 18 knockout out of 20-something wins. So there's something about Ryan Garcia's hands that are special. But let's not fall into this belief that Ryan Garcia would beat Isaac Cruz. Like, Ryan Garcia should be counting his blessings that the WBC came out and they threw his name out there with Isaac Cruz as a potential matchup. And somehow it looks like Isaac Cruz's team is saying, now this isn't the time for the fight. Because Isaac Cruz is supposed to be back in August. And after he fights that opponent, he's supposed to be in line or front runner to get that rematch with Davis or fight Rolly Romero. Now, if Tank beats Romero, I'm 50-50 on that fight. I think Tank has the boxing ability, and he's going to have to show it. I just think Rolly Romero isn't the kind of boxer who's going to get in the ring and not go out on his shield. Rolly Romero fights. He's not like what we saw this weekend with, Jaron Ennis and Custody Clayton. He's not going to come in there looking to be defense the first 3-4 rounds and then try to open up. Rolly Romero's coming in there to fight. I could see him, if he loses, going out on his shield, but at least he came and fought. And that boosts your profile. Okay? And that's the thing with Tank and Romero. It's Tank's in tough. But I think Tank should win. But I'm still, I'm kind of rooting for Rolly. I like Rolly. If Rolly get rich, we all get rich. But the reality is, more than likely, it'll probably be Tank. And if Tank and Isaac Cruz, right, that's a pay-per-view fight. A lot of people know who Isaac Cruz is. They saw what he did to Gamboa. True, Gamboa's 40. He's been in wars. He's not the same. Cruz did what he was supposed to do. Now you lead into a fight with him and Tank Davis, the rematch. They fight on pay-per-view. Let's say Isaac Cruz wins that fight. Now you got a trilogy, a third fight, another big pay-per-view fight. You're talking about money-changing, life-changing money for him, and Gervonta's still going to get paid. So why in the world would Isaac Cruz waste his time fighting Ryan Garcia and potentially mess up getting himself in position for the winner of Tank and Rolly Romero. Because Ryan Garcia is not a pay-per-view fighter. I think he could be a pay-per-view star. But Oscar's not, he's not handling Ryan Garcia properly. And I think a lot of that can be attributed to Ryan Garcia's own stubbornness and thinking that he's something that he's not in boxing. Now, he has all the potential, but he's not there yet. And I'm not sure if Oscar is the guy who can do it for him. But Isaac Cruz is just, I think Isaac Cruz would really hurt Ryan Garcia because styles make fights. And Ryan Garcia, he got fast hands and fast feet. But this is the problem with him, okay? I think he should be counting his blessing that this fight may not happen, although it could go to a purse bid on June 14th. So we don't know what's going on. But from Isaac Cruz and his side, his team, they feeling like this isn't the right time. That's because they got bigger fish to fry. But Ryan Garcia should be counting his blessings because he's a tall guy, fast hands, fast feet, but he doesn't fight tall all the time. He has this habit of, like I said in another video, he wants to come and try to walk fighters down and be Canelo. He's not Canelo. And the worst thing he can do with Isaac Cruz is decide he's going to get in close and try to trade with him. People keep talking about Ryan Garcia's left hook. Yes, he has a big left hook. But none of that stuff's going to work against Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz has an extremely tight defense. And when he lets those shots go, those shots are to damage you. And Ryan Garcia, to me, is tailor-made for a guy like Isaac Cruz. I haven't seen many people, when they're discussing this fight between Ryan and Isaac, saying that they favor Ryan to win. I think Oscar knows, okay, I did my job. I went down there, talked to the WBC. Now we got Ryan's name out there kind of bubbling around in the boxing community. People are kind of paying attention. But at the same time, I really don't want him to take that fight. I just wanted to stir the pot a bit and keep his name relevant. Now that we've done that, and fortunately, Isaac Cruz's team is saying that they're really not looking at that fight, I can put Ryan in there with somebody else. And I really think that's what De La Hoya is thinking. Because there's no way in the world Ryan beats him, okay? But this is the thing. This is what we're up against, right? For Ryan Garcia, let's say the Cruz fight doesn't take place. What are some good options for Ryan Garcia? Because Tank is out here just really getting busy. And actually, with Ryan and Isaac, the winner of that was supposed to get a shot at Devin Haney. That's what was supposed to happen. But Isaac is looking to go out there and get the winner of Tank and Rolly Romero. So, what's his name? Garcia and Isaac would have been getting the winner of Haney, but we know that. Who knows what's going to happen with all that? So Isaac doesn't have time to wait around. He's making power moves. But what are some good options for Ryan Garcia if for some reason the Isaac Cruz fight doesn't come to fruition? Well, you got Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz, he just fought, what's his name? Haney. Very good fight. Jojo Diaz got in there and clipped Tevin Farmer. Ryan Garcia can't get away with that crap he got away with his last opponent. And when he got into it with Luke Campbell, he almost got knocked out. But Jojo Diaz is a bit shorter, but Jojo Diaz comes to fight. I think that's an extremely hard fight for Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia has a tendency to want to stand there and bang and go to war instead of fighting smart. You need to pay attention to how Oscar De La Hoya used to fight. He was a boxer puncher. Ryan Garcia, he is too, but he doesn't box smart. He's in there trying to prove a point. That's gonna be catastrophic. Him going to a fight with Isaac Cruz and to me Jojo Diaz as well. If Ryan Garcia fights Javier Fortuna, that's another option for him. Ryan Garcia gets hurt badly. Now Fortuna, he gets hit. He's not fast enough to me to get in there and outbox Ryan. But Fortuna will make the fight ugly. Fortuna wins by all means necessary. And Ryan Garcia doesn't like those kind of fights. You look at his sparring with him and Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero damn near killed Ryan Garcia in that sparring session. That's on YouTube. Go look it up. But Rolly Romero almost killed Ryan Garcia. That's when Ryan Garcia talks about Rolly Romero, he speaks highly of him. He said he has a weird way of fighting, but it works for him. We know it works for him. We saw what he did to you in sparring. Okay? Because Ryan Garcia was standing tall, giraffe neck, and not getting out of the way. And with an aggressive fighter like Rolly, was able to damn near tear his head off. What do you think Isaac Cruz is going to do? And with a guy like Jojo Diaz, who's all about getting on the inside, letting shots go, he's going to try to tear his head off. Javier Fortuna, a little more awkward and quirky, but he's going to be rough him up and make it ugly. So if it's not Javier Fortuna or Jojo Diaz, you got Zara Abdullaev, Richard Comey. That may be a pretty good, stylistically, a good fight for Ryan Garcia. I think that would be a good fight. Then Ivan Mendy, and then Jeremiah Nakatila. But out of all of this, you know, as far as me and Ryan Garcia, he's still going to fight in July 16th. We're just not sure if he's going to fight against Isaac Cruz. But with Ryan Garcia, I think a good fight for him will be either Javier Fortuna or Jojo Diaz. I really do. I think those are the two fights to make if Isaac doesn't go clip him. But at the same time, with Isaac and his team, I get it, what they're looking at, what they're trying to do. They're looking at the big money. But at the same time, it's like I was saying about the welterweights. Why not go in there and clip a big name? You know, and I keep throwing Thurman's name out there. Same thing. Boots really at this point. Go clip Thurman. And then, you know, the fight is even juicier if you go in against Spencer Crawford, if they fight, which, you know, I got to do a video on that. They're going to get busy. And then when it comes to Isaac Cruz, same thing. We know you want the big fights. He's kind of like in a position like Jaron Ennis. You know, he wants to go fight the tanks. He wants to go in and get the big names. But go ahead and clip Ryan Garcia. Knock him out cold. You got a big name on your resume, makes the fight even juicier. Because Ryan and Tank was supposed to get it on. That didn't happen. But if Isaac comes and he clips him, now he's like, whoa, this man just knocked out Ryan Garcia. Same thing if Boots goes and he clips Thurman. They're like, damn, he knocked him out. So I think Isaac Cruz team should reconsider. But at the same time, I understand. But for Ryan Garcia, he needs to really look at what he's going to do. And I think Jojo Diaz or Javier Fortuna are outstanding opponents for him. I really do. He needs to take a look at that. But more to come on these guys. Ryan Garcia, he went on a rant and just talking about how, you know, he just feels that Isaac Cruz team are just making excuses. You know, team doesn't even want to have a conversation on how they can figure things out. He's talking about how he's frustrated. He's trying to get the fight done, seeing if there's a way they can just have a conversation. Don't get mad at him. It's not in his hands anymore. Isaac Cruz is a bleep. And I will tell you this. Ryan Garcia, all that lying talk, no heart, in my opinion. And I think he should be very careful messing with that crocodile Cruz. Because if Cruz has the mentality of if he dies, he dies, and he's definitely, if he gets in the ring with Ryan Garcia, he's going to try to kill him. And I think Oscar De La Hoya knows it, and I would not be surprised if that fight didn't happen. More so, De La Hoya finding a way to get him out of it if Isaac Cruz's team change gears and say, you know what, we'll fight you. I can see De La Hoya being like, figuring out a way to get Ryan out of that fight and going another route. He'll say something, they took too long to make a decision, and so we had to move forward. We can't wait for these guys and allow their indecisiveness to hurt my fighter's career. That's the kind of spin Oscar will put on it. But we all know the real deal. You don't want him in there with that crocodile pitbull Cruz. You don't want that. But anyway, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Ryan Garcia is a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. But Ryan Garcia is not beating Isaac Cruz. He needs, in my opinion, especially how he looked in his last fight, man needs to get in there with Jojo Diaz or Javier Fortuna. Get active. Work a little bit more with Joe Goossen, because Joe Goossen, to me, didn't do him any favors. And let's see how he performs. And then maybe you can talk about an Isaac Cruz or something like that. But if you're still not really gelling with Joe and we're not looking good, you need to take another fight. Like, don't force it. Don't just go jump in there with a killer. Don't do it. But anyway, leave your comments below. Y'all take care. Appreciate the support. Please subscribe if you watched this video. And as always, I'm in the breeze.